Hello and welcome to Catalyst Happy Hours with me, Antony.
And me, Darren.
And I am back in the normal place this week, which means I have my microphone back. So hopefully it sounds a bit better.
He's not in his box anymore. He's been released.
I've been let out of the box. But if you have no idea what we're talking about, head back and listen to our last two podcasts because you'll hear the echo. But even go back further than that and listen to all our other podcasts if you haven't already. There's lots of them, and you can find them all on Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, Google, and so many more platforms.
And we are no longer on SoundCloud. I had an email telling me that your account has now been
deactivated.
Not deactivated, but shrunk.
Oh,
because we've got too many podcasts on there for a freebie.
Oh, fair enough.
So they've deleted one. Only by one at the moment.
Oh.
So,
well, don't go listen to there then, because you'll miss one, and it could be a good one. Who knows? But just head to our website www.catalystyouth.org.uk, because you'll be able to find links to our podcast there, as well as our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so much more. And our email addresses are somewhere on there. I think they're somewhere on the website, but if they're not, they're info, Antony or Darren at catalystyouth.org.uk. Contact us, give us questions, tell us themes for us to talk about on this podcast, because we are running low.
Yes, and also thank you so much to all of those in Virginia in the USA for listening to our podcast. And I will not take the mick out of the USA anymore.
No, there are a lot of you in Virginia that listen. So,
and we've got an increase in Washington, California, New York, and also unknown. So those are all the people that live in the USA who don't know where they are.
Well, I mean, put it this way, obviously our humour and what we talk about is more interesting to the US than it is to the UK. So.
Yeah, because that's our biggest demographic is the US of A.
Yeah.
And also welcome to everybody listening in the United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, and Switzerland, because they've all popped up on our statistics. So you are all very welcome.
Yeah, and we'd like to add that the top two are, like, for statistics, are the US and the UK. So at least the UK is up there. What was that?
Sorry, intro music.
Oh, was it your phone?
This is when you forget to turn your phone on silent and it just goes off in the middle of a podcast, because, you know, we are that professional.
We are.
Or I am.
Mine's on silent, so...
There we go. I would turn it off now.
That's okay.
I'm just going to keep that bit in. Saves editing.
I would do. But yeah, no, it was really cool. Obviously, Darren found the statistics the other day, sent them across to me, and we couldn't believe it when we saw that the majority of our listeners are in the US. And when we say majority, we're talking like, you know, the UK, I think, had something that in that week was 20, 24, 27.
Well, we got United Kingdom is on 29 and the US is on 62.
There we go.
So in the last week.
Yeah, so it's a big old jump.
It is. And if you are listening from the United States and you've listened to the last one and come back for more, tell us how you actually found us, because we're intrigued to know how you came across two English British guys just chatting.
Yeah, especially when one of them is Darren, who is very good at saying what's on his mind, and usually it's not in the US's favour.
I'm not saying anything now.
No, but seriously, if you are listening from another country, please do send us an email and let us know how you stumbled across this, because I wouldn't even know where to begin to try and stumble across this podcast.
No, it's not one that, it just pops up. But maybe it did.
Maybe,
you know, we've got featured. We didn't know about it on a site.
Maybe we're number one in the iTunes chart for podcasts in America.
Really doubt that.
You never know. Maybe they don't like podcasts enough, and maybe 62 is enough to get us up to the top.
But saying that, you know, our statistics, it gives us, because we're a Podbean now, which is built just for podcasts, which is really cool. And 56.8% of you listen via iTunes, which I found very surprising. I thought Spotify or, something else would be the top.
On iTunes?
Yeah, 56.8% is iTunes, 13.7% is Spotify, 13.7% is Amazon Music, and 4.2% is Apple Podcasts. Wow, so I'm not sure what the difference is between the Apple Podcasts and the iTunes.
if you go on the iTunes store and look up Catalyst Happy Hour-ish, you can find us there.
Are we free? We should start charging.
Yeah, it's a free download.
20p per download.
But that's amazing. We are on iTunes.
There you go. Heard it here first. So, let us know, if you're not in the UK, or even if you're in the UK, let us know whereabouts in the UK you are listening from, because it'd be quite interesting for us to know, where we're reaching.
And it would be. I don't think they're all on there.
No?
We seem to. I can't find episode 1.
It's definitely somewhere. It's definitely uploaded.
Not on iTunes, it isn't. So if you've listened on iTunes, you've missed the beginning.
Yes, so head over to Spotify because it's definitely on there.
Oh dear. Anyway, what a week it has been. Darren and I, we saw each other at the weekend.
We did indeed, for a period of about 24 hours.
We did. And we
Literally, I think it was about less than 24 hours.
That's less than 24 hours. Yeah. And we saw Rain Collective.
We did, up at the O2 Academy in Bristol.
Yeah, and O2 Academy in Bristol, we're going to give you a shout out now because you're dreadful.
Yeah, get a bigger venue.
Yeah, and, just be nicer.
Yeah. Don't lie. We got told that there was room on the dance floor. I think they called it the dance floor.
He did.
Yeah, on the dance floor. I went, oh, okay then. So all 6 of us who went moseyed on down to the dance floor, doing our best dance moves of trying to squeeze through people. And there was no room on the dance floor.
We made room.
We had to make room, yeah.
We made room.
But we were very shocked to find out that there was 1,200 people squeezed into that tin can.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people there. And that wasn't even full. They could take up to 1,600 of, I think it was.
That's it. Yeah.
Which was, just looking around was absolutely crazy. You're like, how the heck can they fit another 300-400 people into this room?
But the thing is, we slate the venue. Ren were brilliant.
Oh, they were amazing.
Yeah, we can't slate the actual thing that we saw.
No, and I think the supporting acts, I'm sure you guys were good as well, but we just didn't get there to watch you.
No, but their guitar player played with Rend and he was good, so
yeah,
I presume the rest of them are good.
Yeah, there was no bum notes, so it was all good.
Yeah,
yeah. A little sermon in the middle, which I was quite surprised with. But it was a good talk. He put in some of his jokes, which was really cool.
They were very funny.
But yeah, all in all, it was a very good night, including the meal we had beforehand. But we literally all went, do you know what we could do? Going for a lie down now.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
The Rudgley restaurant. Let's shout you out as well.
Yeah, on the way to Bristol, just come off at Gordano, head towards Bristol, towards the bridge, and you'll see them on the left-hand side. So, go and give them a like, follow, share, or whatever you can do online.
And try their ribs.
Yeah, and try their sirloin steak as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I like it blue. Oh, and it was blue.
It was blue.
It was nice, though. So all those vegans being triggered right now.
You're welcome.
And and then following that, we went out for a meal again on the Saturday as well. And I had ribs.
Did you go out in the end?
Yeah, went out in the end because it was only one of them that had COVID and the rest are jabbed, so could still leave the home under the rules. So we left him, the one that had COVID, at home alone, and we all went out for a meal. And I'll put it this way, I was all food out. I could not eat no more food.
Where did you go?
We went to Taunton, and I can't think I think it's called the White Lodge.
Okay. Chain
restaurant. I think it's a beef eater, maybe, off the top of my head. But yeah, I was going for a little meal, but then I saw somebody have the ribs. And when it came out and I saw how much meat was on it, and I was like, oh. So I had the barbecue bourbon sticky ribs with chips.
That sounds good.
And trust me, the ribs was the size of the plate.
That does sound good.
And it was a very good meal. And it was really nice to see my brother and my stepdad. And it was the first kind of family meal since Mum's passing. So it was quite nice to all get together. But it was one of those things you kind of thought, oh yeah, Mum is missing from this. But yeah, it was a really good meal, really good to see them. Got to see my nieces as well, which was really good. Not seen them in a while. Lockdown's got a lot to answer for, and also my brother's got a lot to answer for because, he's always working. So it's really hard to, fit it all in. But yeah, it was really good. So they've got lots of food.
Excellent. Can we get a tea? There's some in the pot, apparently.
So if you're listening to this, Anthony's just gone off to get some tea.
Don't start without me. Why are you shaking your head at me?
Well, interrupted by a parent calling, and then you went off to get tea. And
I didn't know you were going to press record again, did I?
I mean, you should come prepared. I mean, I had my coffee ready this morning. I made it at the right time.
Oh, dear. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I have no idea anymore, mate. No idea.
Well,
we were talking about...
It's all going well this morning.
Yeah, we're sick, by the way. Well, I'm definitely sick. And that's not in like the cool sick way that the kids use. Yeah. That's in I've got a really sore throat and a snotty nose. Oh. And lateral flow tests, I've done 3 of them. All have come back negative. So, yeah, it's not COVID. It's just a bog standard cold.
There's loads of them going around at the moment.
I blame the massive room of 1,200 people and all their germs. But yeah, there we go. So what are we going to talk about properly today then?
I don't remember.
Nor do I. What did we say? Oh, I know. It was things we cannot live without.
Oh, yeah.
We're running out of topic ideas, guys. So please send us some topics that we can talk about. We can talk about pretty much anything. But when we're sat here on a Wednesday morning going, what should we do today? It is quite difficult. Our brains just go blank.
It gets harder.
It does. And obviously, we don't want to be covering the same topics we've covered before. So, so if you've got any ideas of what you want us to talk about or want our views on anything, then just send us an email that Anthony told you about earlier in the podcast. And I will remind you of later on in the podcast.
Oh, look at that little tease of what's coming up.
So,
things we couldn't live without then. I mean, do you have one straight away? I mean, I do. But
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's probably the same as yours.
Interesting.
Oh, really? Maybe not. What's yours?
Well, no, I want to know yours now.
Mine would be my phone.
Okay.
I don't think... Well, actually say... No, I don't think I could. No, I mean, I like tech, as loads of people will know. And I do have a lot of tech, from my home being automated, that I just tell Google what to turn on and what to turn off, to wanting the latest gadget that comes out, especially when it comes to Apple products. Like the iPhone. I've just recently got the iPhone 13. Just ordered the new Apple Watch. Just ordered the new iPad.
Terrible.
I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not rich. It's not like, I'm going to pop out and
not anymore.
Buy the latest iPad. I have them on contract, so and I also use them for work quite a bit, especially the iPad. I take to work, so actually, I'm going to change it. Not my phone, my iPad.
Okay.
Because I use it a lot, even when it comes to doing youth Bible studies. I'll usually take it along and play videos on it. Because we're quite a small group, so we can do that. I've even got a little gizmo if I need it to actually hook it up to the TV. To play it on the TV. So I'm going to go for my iPad. I probably couldn't live without.
Okay.
What about you?
So, I wasn't going to say phone, but actually, when I look at what I'm about to say, it does connect up to a phone or an iPad or a laptop, that type of thing. But I'm going to say Spotify.
Oh, okay.
So an app, because I love my music and I would spend so much money if I had to go out and buy every album I wanted to hear or every soundtrack that I wanted or something like that. Where Spotify has it all.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, as you know, if you've been on any of the accounts, I'm proud of the fact that I have every Now That's What I Call Music album since number 1. But I haven't got the recent ones because I've moved to Spotify.
Oh.
I no longer have. I used to subscribe to iTunes Match, I think it's called,
Right.
Music Match. So any albums that you own, it would match them.
Right.
So you'd always keep them on there. So like all the Now albums, because I had them, it would match them. So it would keep them all on there for me.
See, but this is where I differ to you in the fact of you say, oh, I haven't got the recent ones because I've moved to Spotify. I still do buy like a CD or something like that. If I've got the rest of them, I need to keep that going.
I have thought about it. I don't know how far I am behind. I've not looked. Because obviously they cost a lot of money, don't they?
Yeah. Now CDs are a lot.
And also with CDs, I thinking on the top of my head right now, I don't own a CD player. I've not even got one in my car because it's all digital.
See, I have one in my car.
So, I mean, I have got a stack of CDs somewhere. And some of them are still in cellophane because I've not got a CD player. Well, you know, like I bought something and they've come with it.
Yeah.
Like recently, Mercy Me did a online concert that I subscribed to and added the package. I think I gave you the hat, and I had a CD and a T-shirt, and because it came as part of the package, I got the CD, but I've not got a CD player to play it on. I mean, I could put it on my computer and play it via the DVD drive.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as just playing it in the house. Whereas because I've got Google now, I just tell Google to play that album and it plays it through Spotify.
But I mean, there's loads of things now where you don't need to buy stuff like CDs, even DVDs now, like Netflix and stuff. I still am continuing to buy DVDs because of the whole set. I mean, I've literally just brought the 9th Fast and Furious on DVD because I've got the rest of them. Whereas if I didn't have the rest of them, I don't know if I'd bother. I'd just wait until it was on something else. But yeah. But that's one thing I think I'd say is music is one of those key things in my life. And I think Spotify helps that a lot because it does save me a lot of money.
I'm just trying to find. Yeah, there's a few on here I don't have.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So once this podcast finishes, everyone, Darren's about to go and splash out the cash on Now CDs.
Download everything. I'm just trying to think of what app.
I mean, I'd probably then say my phone as well along with that because that's what I listen to it most on. So yeah.
I'm going to go and have a look. Yeah, I'd probably go for Instagram.
Okay.
Because I mean, that's the app I use a lot of.
See, so I think, and if I actually did it, I probably would be wrong, but I don't think I'd miss Instagram. If I deleted it, I don't think it would make a difference to me.
Oh, okay.
It's just one of those ones, same as at the moment, to be honest, Facebook. Twitter's the one that I use mainly. Yeah,
I'm not middle class, so I don't use Twitter as often as you. Yeah, I think Facebook I could live without.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook I just find it's boring now.
Facebook's made for the parents now.
Yeah, and nobody really uses Facebook.
My mum the other day said something about my nephew. Oh, he'll get Facebook soon. No, he won't, because you've got Facebook now. So it's not going to go down to that.
Anything else that you can think of that you could not live without?
Water, food, oxygen.
Thanks for joining us on our podcast today. I hope you found it as riveting as I didn't.
I had to say it because there's going to be people sat at home going, well, I haven't said the obvious ones. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one of the things is going to be a really random one, right? I could live without it. I'd get used to it. But my watch, because I really notice when I'm not wearing it and it does my head in. Okay. You know, when you're like, oh, I'm missing something.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that. I mean, yeah. I put my watch on every morning.
I think for a lot of people, though, and it's the one we've already said, it is the phone, isn't it? Because your phone now has everything on it.
Yeah, I mean,
if we'd asked this question 10 years ago, you know, some people might have said their phone and their Walkman and whatever, probably longer than 10 years. But
Brendan's 11. If I asked him what a Walkman is, he'll be like, what? The old Sony Walkman. Other Walkmans were available.
Yeah, no, we're probably talking more like early 2000s instead.
Talk about 20 years ago.
Brilliant.
I mean, I remember when I got my very first phone, because obviously I grew up in the generation that we didn't have mobile phones. There was a guy across the road that had a mobile phone, and it was in a box. It was one of those car phones.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a briefcase size phone with the cord attached to it. And I thought that was pretty cool when I saw him carry it in the house. It must have been heavy as anything, carrying it in. But I got my first phone and I ordered it from QVC. I don't even know if that channel's going anymore. It's the shopping channel on Sky.
I don't watch the shopping channels, so.
I mean, it was one of those things, you know, life was tough when I was young. Entertainment came from shopping channels. And I bought my first mobile phone, pay as you go. And I must have been 17.
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah, about 16, 17. Yeah, 16, 17, because I was working part-time, so I was able to afford to buy it. And yeah, it was one of those, you had to pull the aerial up that was inside of it.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool. And then I remember getting my first contract phone when I turned 18, which was from Vodafone. And it was one of the Nokias.
Okay.
And the only game you could play on it was Snake.
Snake. Yeah.
But I had the one that had infrared. So you could play Snake with a friend via infrared.
Oh, infrared.
Yeah. That made the technology bounced forward, didn't it?
The thing is, though, it's mad, isn't it? How phones and stuff change. I mean, I remember I went from something like a Nokia to a Sony Ericsson, and it was a Sony Ericsson flip phone, right? But the reason I remember this one vividly is because I remember going to school and feeling like the absolute top dog, because Sony Ericsson had joined up, because obviously they owned Walkman at the time, Sony Walkman. They joined up the phone and a Walkman. So on the front, it had the Walkman logo and a touch, play, pause, and rewind, fast forward button.
Amazing.
Honestly. So I was like, I don't even have to open my phone to play this. Look.
Yeah. And I mean, with me, I had, so I started off with the iPod and I had an iPod and I had a mobile phone. And then Apple brought out the phone, which included the iPod.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, why am I carrying around my iPod and my phone when I can actually have them together? And that's when I moved to Apple, and I've stayed with them ever since, because that's how they get you.
Yeah. And this is the thing, isn't it? Is that, like, we talk about this now, but Apple now have everything. Like, we could say, oh, how cool that was. And everyone will be looking at us again. Really? Is it? Because now we've got phones that have everything. I mean, I've just downloaded something that I remember when Apple first started bringing out iPhones or iPods and things like that. They brought out this bad boy, which was where you could pretend to drink a beer.
I had that on my iPod.
That was the ultimate.
That was the ultimate app. Everybody had to have that. I think that was kind of a selling point for me buying an iPod. And then you could just refill. Glug, 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 glug. I mean, if you can, actually, do it again.
Like a fish.
I am going to take a screenshot, and this is going to be our Instagram picture.
Okay.
Are you ready? So ready.
For everyone looking on Instagram, this is what the app was like. So the beer filled up, and then...
There we go. I've got a picture of that now. So it is done. You will see it on our Instagram page on Friday, just letting you know that the podcast has dropped.
Yeah, I'll delete that app now. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's so much has changed but we have proven there. Number one thing we can live without is a phone, I guess.
It is. I mean, and I think, it is one of those necessities in life. I think everybody should have a phone, especially a mobile phone, because, who carries change around with them nowadays to use a payphone? Can you actually use a payphone anymore? Because, they're disappearing.
I carry change. I wasn't.
But yeah, like payphones are disappearing now. Yeah. I remember used to, my mum bought me a charge card that was topped up with something like a few pounds that you put in the payphone to call home. Or it would be when you're coming home, just go to the payphone and let it ring twice, because you could ring a number and for free. So let it ring 3 times and then hang up and you got your money back. So silly things like that, we had a phone at the end of our road, and those are the days when you can actually put 2p pieces into the phone. And we used to go down there and use the public telephone because we never had a phone in our house, which was quite weird in comparison to other people. But my mum was a single parent at the time. So it was one of those things that we didn't need a house phone, but how do you live without a house phone nowadays, or without a phone?
And I'm just now remembering there was a payphone in Dulverton where I grew up. And I remember being on the payphone and having to make a phone call to my parents. And I'm sure I remember having to find change because I needed a lift. But I don't remember why I needed a lift, because I lived just up the road.
Oh, she was just feeling too lazy.
Was I just being lazy? And did I spend money to ring? Nah, surely not.
Perhaps they weren't home and you rang their mobile, maybe?
I don't know. But if I rang their mobile, I would have had a mobile. Why do I use a payphone?
I don't know.
I have to try and work this out, because was I just being lazy? Did I genuinely just phone up the road to say I'm downtown, I need a lift? Because when I say, for anyone listening, when I say I lived like up the road, where the payphone was, we're probably talking a 2-minute walk.
Yeah, Dulverton is apparently a town because it's got a town hall, but it's the size of a village.
Well, okay, I'll be able to explain this to you, Dan, actually. Where I lived, the payphone was next to that knitting shop, the sewing shop.
Can you not? Can you see
my house?
Could you see your house from the payphone there, can't you? If I remember rightly. It's been a couple of years since I've been to Dulverton. And
if they knocked the hotel out from the middle, I'd be able to see my house from stood next to the payphone.
Yeah, if you had one of those, a catapult, you could probably hit your house from where you were.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I need to work out what I'm sure. I have this image. I remember having to find the change, and I can't remember why.
Okay, number one app then on your phone. Then, because I've said, so what app do you use the most? Go into your Spotify.
So it would either be Spotify or Twitter.
Okay. So also on your phone then, do you play any games on your phone? Is there a game that you've got downloaded that you sometimes jump onto just to pass time away?
No, I used to have that. Is it like the Brain Riddles one?
Yeah.
I used to have that. But I don't really play games on it now. I used to. My phone used to be full of them.
Yeah, I very rarely play games. There's this one game that I downloaded recently, which is a free one. I just saw it on an Instagram. When you're scrolling through and suddenly there's an advert. I thought it was quite cool. It was Spot the Difference, which we're actually playing in the pub on Friday.
That is a good game.
But yeah, it's just one of those little things just to pass time away. And I've got a few games on here, and I mostly play during the holidays. Mm-hmm. Because like the last not the last holiday, the holiday before, as a family, me and Brendan both downloaded the same game, and it was like you had to build like a mining game. You had to build these mines and collect like the diamonds and stuff.
Yeah.
We played that for a while. But there seems to be these games that suddenly pop up, and then it's like the craze at the time. Everyone's like going to it. And I remember, do you remember Piano Tiles?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I just downloaded a new one of them. I haven't played it yet. Beat Star.
I mean, you just...
Hang on. I'll just load it up and then...
Okay.
Beat Star.
Yeah, and I remember just, having so much fun just playing Piano Tiles. But I think you just go through these little fads of downloading this and downloading that. I mean, if you look at my phone now, I mean, I've got 10 ton of apps on my phone.
You do.
And but I also have turned on the option of offload apps, which means if you don't use it for so long, it will offload the app to save your memory.
Yeah.
And when you go into games, I can tell you in my games folder, every single one has been offloaded. So it shows you how much I actually play it. But Doctor Who game.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me about that one.
Yeah, don't play it at night time. It scares the crap out of me.
Anyway, when it comes to apps, there's something for everything now, isn't there? Let's be honest. So.
There is, and there's so much on there, and apps to actually help you. And I was just thinking of, the original questions, what could you not live without? And I need to change my answer.
Okay.
To my bone-anchored hearing aid.
I'm afraid you said phone now, so you're going to have to get rid of the hearing aid.
Because, thinking about it, that is one thing that I could not live without. The world would be such a quiet place if I had to give it away or give it back, which it has to go in for repair because it's not working properly. The button's broken on the top, so, But again, that's, technology as well, because it's got Bluetooth on it. So when I answer my phone, I can hear it through my hearing aid. Yeah. And I can listen to music through it. And I just think to myself, do you know what? If I had that at school and we had the technology we had today, I'd just be listening to music during lessons.
Yeah.
Because nobody else could hear it.
No, they wouldn't know. So, well, that's actually, that's quite a good one, isn't it, for you not to live without?
Yeah. And I think, just looking around the house, or around my office, I should say, there's various things that, that I've got, like my Xbox. Without that, life would be a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Not being able to play a game and just switch off. Because that's what I kind of use to switch off from life a little bit. Just check the Xbox on and have a few games of something. I think it's mostly technology.
Yeah, it is.
It is technology that, and I think, was there a movie or something that came out that all technology was suddenly stopped working? And it kind of went back to the dark ages. Or have I just dreamt of a movie to make?
I don't know.
That'd be a pretty cool movie.
It.
I'm sure I saw a movie.
There's a movie about technology taking over, but I don't know about.
Perhaps I dreamt that then.
Oh no, you might. Oh no, it's not that.
Dramatic pause for nothing.
It's not that. Sorry.
I'm sure there was a movie. But let us know what sort of things that you cannot live without. I'm sure other people, value other things more than, your phone. But I think the biggest, if we did a poll, I think the biggest would be my phone, would be the top that you could not live without.
Well, we'll do a poll on Instagram on Friday and we'll find out.
There we go. That's it. We'll do a poll on Instagram. The only next question is, what are we going to call this podcast? Oh,
it's got to be something like, it's all about the phone.
All about the phone. There we go. That is this week's podcast.
That is all we've talked about, really. I went and got a cup of tea in the middle. We had a chat earlier. Can't remember what we chatted about. Oh, we talked about Ren. So that was good.
Yeah.
And we've come to the end.
We have come to the end. Again, let us know what topics you want us to talk about. Otherwise, you're going to get more random stuff like this episode of the podcast.
Although, saying that, we have hopefully got 2 weeks worth of quite cool stuff coming up.
We have indeed. We've got a guest hopefully coming on. We've just got to arrange a time because they're in a different time zone than us. That's how cool it is.
For all you US fans.
Yeah, we're going to have one of your own. Is he one of their own?
Well, he's technically English, isn't he?
Okay, he's emigrated, so he's one of ours that we're lending you for a while. So yeah, join us for that one, hopefully in a few weeks' time. Mm-hmm. And next week is a special one. We're actually taking our podcast on the road.
We are.
Well, and we're yeah, I am. And we're going to go, and actually you as well, because you're not in your usual place.
No, you're right.
So we're going to be recording live, like every week's live recording, from a new location. So maybe. Unless
we run out of time.
And, if we can't think of something to talk about. So yeah, join us for that one. Is there anything else?
Yeah, remind them of the email addresses. You teased it earlier.
I did tease it. So you can contact us at either Darren, Anthony, or info@catalystyouth.org.uk. Don't forget to head over to our website at www.catalystyouth.org.uk, where you can find everything on there from our previous podcasts to random blogs to all the other stuff we've got going on over there. It's worth to check it out. So you can actually message us directly from our website as well if you don't want to email us.
You can.
Don't forget, we do a podcast every week that's available on Friday at 2 p.m. on all the major platforms that Anthony mentioned earlier, plus lots more. Thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been an absolute pleasure. And it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.